Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Plutz and Friends. I've got two friends here with me, and they come from the jungle. The first of which needs no introduction, really. I've talked to him before. He's around sometimes. Dignitas. I will dominate. How are you doing today, sir?
What's up? I'm doing good.
Fantastic. We both just witnessed Cursed actually winning a game against Fear, so that was the most surprising thing I think I've seen of the day.
That's rare.
It's very rare for
a celebration.
I think once the victory screen, once the victory screen came up, they're like, "Oh, what is this? I don't even know what this screen is. Is this maybe one? Wow, it's amazing."
Yeah, they thought they disconnected. They tried to close the client, and get back in.
They had no idea what that screen even meant. Well, welcome. Thank you again for being here. I very much appreciate it. I won't keep too much of your time. And then NK, who needs all the introduction because no one knows who the heck he is. I say that in jest. You are the Meat Playground jungler. Do we still call you guys a new up-and-coming team, or are you guys pretty much solidified?
I don't know.
You don't know anymore. You don't know what Meat Playground is.
Yeah, people are just like, they do stuff.
You guys do stuff.
They've been to a LAN, so they're solidified. I think that's what you need. Much. If you've been to a LAN, then you're actually
winning a LAN. Yeah.
Now you guys will be at a future LAN too, which will be IPL 5. Will be your next big appearance. Are you guys stoked and ready for that?
Yeah, we're trying to get ready for it.
Is Pobelter even allowed in Las Vegas? He's 12, right?
Yeah, he is.
Okay, good. I didn't want to have any age restrictions.
We'll probably have to put a leash on him, though, so he doesn't get lost and chase any cars, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to lose him.
No, he will wander off immediately. We need to get him a fake ID or something so he can actually get into the casino. But thank you again, NK, for being here as well. Now, if this is someone's first episode of Plutz and Friends, we just kind of talk. These guys are both great junglers in their own respects, and we're going to talk about the jungle a little bit. Topics we're going to cover: unorthodox junglers, whether they be Hecarim, Darius, or maybe some other crazy jungler we haven't even heard of yet. We will talk about the efficiency of when and where exactly to gank. How do these guys decide what lanes to gank and when at what times? The jungle changes in Season 3 are vast, and slowly but surely the trickle of information is coming out to us as the serfs, as the plebeians of the league community. So we're going to talk about what we know so far, and we're going to make some predictions of OP junglers whenever the fruits of Riot's labor come to bear in the Season 3 jungle change. But first, my favorite thing to do in the beginning is just to get to know you guys on a more personal level. People know you for your junglers, people know you for your play, people know you for your solo queue antics, but I want to know what y'all's favorite color is. Dominate, what's your favorite color?
I guess it's kind of boring, but I guess blue's my favorite color.
That is boring indeed. You suck. You should choose
Good man over there, good man. Got the double boring. The double boring, run around in the forest, hit neutral creeps, bond it, just we're bonding. Double blue.
Yeah.
Double blue.
Love it.
Oh, is your favorite color blue, NK?
Yeah, we both love blue.
Oh my god.
We both love hitting neutral creeps in the color blue.
You guys should maybe go out once in a while. Maybe go on a date.
Totally. We'll go on a date. It'll be great.
IPL
sushi and rice balls.
How do you feel about sushi, Dominate?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. There you go. IPL 5 date between NK and Dominate. I'll film it.
I'm not going IPL 5 yet. I might not get in, but we'll see.
We'll see what happens.
This Pluto. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't qualify, man. You're not invited.
I thought you guys would show up just because you're Dignitas.
Live qualifier, man.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, we got a last seeding for CLG pretty much for the last spot. So yeah, we have that next week. We'll see if we're going.
Well, I've got my fingers crossed for you. But the sushi and rice balls, is that your favorite food, NK? That's my next question.
I live in the center of the country, so it's like, oh, hey, you want to eat sushi? No, it's terrible. So it's like, I'd have to go fly to California to get sushi or something.
So what would be your favorite food then?
I don't know. Favorite? Probably like spaghetti and meatballs, but that's kind of a pain in the butt to make, so.
It is. It takes a lot of time. Now, here's the key question about spaghetti and meatballs is, do you do actual meatballs or do you do meat sauce? Because there's a key difference.
Well, I don't know. I don't even really know the difference. I just say, I call up the grandma, and I'm like, hey, grandma, you know what time it is, right?
It's spaghetti and meatball time, G-Ball.
Spaghetti and meatballs. And then we go hang out with the grandma and have a feast.
The grandma. I like that a lot. What about you, Dominate? What is your favorite food to consume?
God, I was going to say spaghetti and meatballs, but that'd be way too gay, so I'm going to go with, steak or something.
So you guys both like blue. You both like farming the neutral creeps. You both like spaghetti and meatballs. Like, you guys are pretty much the same person.
Essentially.
Essentially. I like it a lot. Now, we'll go right into our first topic of discussion. We'll spend a few minutes discussing some of these unorthodox junglers out there. First of which, we'll throw the ball to Dominate, of course, talk about his recent performance at MLG Dallas, where he pulled out Jungle Pony, the Jungle Hecarim. Now, you play it, you're not unfamiliar with it. You played a lot in solo queue and whatnot, but this has kind of been your first time to play it like 75% of your games in an actual competitive environment. Why did you wait this long to pull out the Hecarim?
Because, yeah, it was like, it's kind of a risk playing a new jungler like that, and I don't know how to make this sound good, but MLG Dallas just wasn't that important of a tournament, so it was like, might as well like see what works, get some experience with new stuff, and yeah, hope to do well.
Now, what about him makes him viable? You know, I mean, he's got, I guess, decent CC, I guess. He gets that knockback from his E. He's got great sustain from his W. He's got decent clear speed with his Q. Is it just his whole package that makes him strong in the jungle, or is there something else about him that's special?
Pretty much like everything about him is good enough. Like, he is good enough CC that your ganks are actually going to be effective. His Q lets you farm fast enough, and I think the thing that makes him like really good, in my opinion, is the W in team fights, because it doesn't have a cap off champion damage. So like, if your team does enough damage, you can regenerate thousands of health in a team fight, and like, that's just completely broken to me. So
now, do you have any opinion on the Hecarim jungle there in Gank?
Like, if you don't have, like, if you're the only CC on your team, I hate it, like, with a passion, because it's like, to engage if you have no other CC or like initiate, it's just like the hardest thing in the world, because his ult is like, it's so stupid to just like hit on the enemy team and like do something with it, because it takes like the cast time and travel time is so long. So like, you need like he can't be your primary initiator, but as like a follow-up initiator, he's really, really strong. And yeah, I agree with like most of the other points Dominate made.
So, in your opinion, what is the best team comp to run around Hecarim? Like, is there a specific person you would love to have in mid or down bot, or just another champion you would love to synergize with Hecarim?
Well, like characters that aren't bad with him. It's like Malphite. Like, if you do like Malphite, Orianna, or like some kind of engage somewhere else in the map, like, it doesn't matter what the engage is. It just has to be like a lead off. So by that would be like, it'd be like maybe a Shen taunt, like a flash Shen taunt, or a Rise snare, like anything like that, where it could just be like, it stops them from moving, so you can easily ult on top of them, and their team has to either like back off or come forward to fight you guys. It's like really solid way to engage.
Now, do you have the same kind of opinion for yourself, Dominate?
Yeah, definitely. Those are like the best champions. Like, couple that we ran that weren't really initiates, but it kind of worked with the right mindset that you want for Hecarim was like Rumble and Eve, because Eve, even if she ults and then you get like that follow-up initiate, you're going to be able to pick one off and just get the reset and snowball through the fight. And for Rumble, he's just able to like section off such a big portion that your initiate actually becomes stronger, because you can redirect like the team easier. So
okay. Yeah. Now, it's true with the Hecarim ultimate that the fear always goes away from the epicenter, correct?
Yes.
So like, you can basically, it's not like a random fiddle fear.
Yeah, it's not a random fear. You can position them where you want. It's just hard to hit. Like, I think the best way to do it, like, ideally, if you can proc your E so you're running really fast, that'll give you enough time to put your R in front of them, and if you can knock them back with the fear from your ultimate, or whatever you want to call that mechanic, and then the knockback from your E, you can displace somebody like a pretty decent distance.
Yeah, it's like a blitzcrank grab with a displacement.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you go for, but it's just like hard to land. It's a weird feeling champion. That's why I feel like he wasn't played too, because like, I feel like everyone the first couple times you play him, you just like suck, because it's just nothing else plays like him. Like, he's really fast, but like he's like tanky, but in team fights, like sometimes he can't like get any damage off because he can't proc his Q. It's just like, it's a weird champion. Like, I don't know.
Now, do you agree? Do you enjoy his passive? I mean, it seems like the most strange thing in the world. Like, his damage scales off of his move speed, and then also, doesn't it ignore unit collision as well as part of it? Or does that not?
I have no clue. Wow, I should know that.
I think it does. I think it's a two thing.
Yeah, it says so. looking at his thing on the client.
Okay.
It ignores unit collision.
I'm pretty sure, because I remember Civ HD making a video of support Hecarim where you literally just stand on top of creeps and don't let the enemy AD last hit because it ignores unit collision, which is pretty funny. But are there any other particular unorthodox style junglers that you guys think can make a splash in competitive play? Or do you think everything that kind of sees play, like Skarner and some Shyvana here and there and some Maokai, do you think that is just the cream of the crop and you really shouldn't play anything else?
There's other good ones. I mean, like Hecarim was good. Like I think Sejuani is pretty decent with everything getting nerfed.
She's not bad.
Yeah, I don't know. There's like ones like that out there. Like Jarvan's not a bad jungler. It's just like people go with what's safe. Like Maokai's pretty easy to play. I don't know. Skarner is decently easy to play, and like in tournaments you can consistently like get shit done with them. So it's good enough.
Do you think, in your opinion, that like y'all's play at Dallas, like you said, for better or worse, you said you guys didn't really care about Dallas. It wasn't a big tournament for you. It was an opportunity for you guys to kind of be ballsy and play different things. Do you think that needs to happen more in the competitive scene for innovation to really take place and take hold? Or do you think people take tournaments a little bit too safely?
I don't know. I think it really depends. Like, tournaments mean more depending on what team you're in. Like, for example, like at something like PAX, I would have never been playing like Hecarim. Like, that was like such a big tournament that I needed to be playing like what I knew was really strong. I think that like if a team's not qualified for Season 3 yet, then all these tournaments leading up to it, they've got to be like trying their best stuff. Like, should just be sticking to like what they think is like the strongest right now. But I think that for like teams like TSM and CLG and us, like we have an opportunity to like experiment in some of these tournaments. Like I know like Chaucer had never even played jungle before this tournament. It wasn't really a big deal for them. They just used it as like practice, and that's what I think these tournaments are best used for.
Well, what about you, NK? You guys, as Meat Playground, you don't have a spot in Season 3. You're going to IPO 5 in Vegas. You guys have a lot a lot to prove, I believe. I mean, I know you guys are a very strong team. Your bot lane is phenomenal. Poe Belter's a fantastic AP mid. You guys are strong overall. Do you think that affords you guys some room to innovate and be creative, or do you think you guys have to play safe to kind of prove yourselves?
Well, I mean, like, we have some kind of, like, strategies that we use, like, just in general, but, like, usually when people, like, the thing I hate about the community is, like, they'll look at, like, a strategy or something that's unorthodox, like, maybe, like, support fiddlesticks or something like that, and they'll take it and they'll run with it and be like, oh my gosh, this is so meta-breaking, this is so weird, this is so different, and it's really, like, it's not really like that risky or that dangerous, you know. It's just like it's a support character that works in certain situations. Like we know the situations it works in, and it's just like one of those things where it's like I wouldn't necessarily call like some strategies we might use like meta breaking, but like if the community looked at them, they might say that's what it would be, you know. So it's like it might be termed like a risky strategy, but I don't really think of it that way because it's like it works here and not here, and it's just like, yeah.
Now, who is your favorite jungler, NK? Because I've seen you play a mean Mumu from time to time. Is that your bread and butter, or do you like someone else?
My favorite is probably Singed or Fiddlesticks.
Very unorthodox. I mean, Singed is not a common jungler. Why do you appreciate kind of the unorthodox nature of Singed?
He's just a character I've always played in this game. Like I've played that character, I'll buttload like top and jungle. Like I've played the crap out of Singed, so I just like him. Even
so
though
you
he's
don't
not
care.
That great
you don't care
jungle.
where you play him, as long as you're playing him, pretty much.
Right. That used to be my mentality, pretty much. Just play Singed everywhere and win. Win
games. I like it a lot. Now, Singed, I would imagine, has great ganks. I mean, the fling is a huge displacement. The mega adhesive is a nice AoE slow. So that kind of leads into the next question of, how do you guys dictate exactly when and where to gank a lane? I know there's vast differences between kind of a solo queue kind of thing and a team kind of thing. So I'd like to focus a little bit more on the team effort. And I'll talk to you first, NK, if you'd like to let me know. Is there someone on the team that of Meat Playground that when they call for help, you just go? Or do you make all the decisions? You say, hey, I'm coming top in 1.5 minutes or what have you?
Me and Pobelter and I make like all the calls pretty much for the team for the most part. Like Hazard's calls suck, so like sometimes we'll listen to them, but like 90% of the time it leads to like him dying, them getting Baron, and us losing the game. So we usually ignore him.
Yeah.
So yeah, so usually it's Pobelter and I like making the decisions, but like as far as like from like probably 2 minutes up until like 25 minutes, I'm usually just on my own, just trying to figure out what I need to do to help my team out. So it's basically like Hazard is going to die top lane at 3:30 because he can't read a clock. So I know I have to go up there and counter gank. And then I know, like, all right, so after that, it's basically just like if Hazard screws up, it's his fault. And then, like, depending on what Pobelter's picked, if Pobelter's picked something that's like super aggressive, like Pobelter plays really aggressive.
Yeah.
And if he's on a hero like that where he's going to play aggressive, then I basically just need to make sure he's successful, and then we'll pretty much win the game because our bot lane's really solid. So 90% of the time I can just count on them to either win or be stronger than the enemy bot lane, even if they don't win. So I just go, all right, I just need to counter gank for mid and we'll win this game.
For mid and top. So it sounds like you need to know that like a jungler has to be the most attuned with the weaknesses of his own team, because you have to make up for the lack of skill in other lanes. Is that what you're saying pretty much?
Well, no, it's not like that. But it's like in competitive play, like there's wards everywhere. So like if I take the time out of like my jungle to go gank like top or go gank mid, right, and it happens to be warded because they warded early or something in a weird spot, then it's just like I just wasted a bunch of time and like nothing happened, and then everyone on the map knows where I am, so they're gonna play super aggressive now. That's like, that hurts my team more than me just AFKing at my spawn for a minute, right? Because if no one knows where I am, they're not going to play as aggressive. Because
they're scared.
If there's a spot that isn't warded, or like if there's a chance I can counter gank when they come to gank my mid laner or whatever, then they're going to be hesitant to do it. Because it's like one of those things that as long as there's like a chance for something to go wrong, you want to have them have that like doubt in their mind, so that they're not able to.
It's a fear of the unknown at that point.
Right.
If they don't know where you are, then you could be anywhere. You know, that's very, very scary.
Getting seen by wards is like probably like in solo queue. Sometimes you can just run past wards and kill them anyway in solo queue.
Yeah,
but
so much.
Like in competitive play, you've got 5 people who are just like, oh, look at that guy. But then there's like a million pings that'll go down, and it's like they all know where you are now, and it's like the guy's not going to die, and it's just like the only reason you'd ever like walk across a ward on purpose is to like relieve pressure from the lane, because if it's just you show up, so they kind of have to back off until you leave, or like if they don't ward the bush, you can just sit in that bush and recall, or just sit in there and wait, and then they can't play aggressive and they have to gamble on if you left or not. You know, like there's a lot of situations, but that's the basic idea of it.
Now, I'm going to kind of assume that you pretty much agree with most of those points, Dominic, but how does the inner workings, how does the well-oiled machine of Dignitas, count on ganks, and how do they call for ganks exactly?
I don't know, like pretty much, like the most important thing is the wards on the map, level 1, because like in solo queue it's so much different. Like solo queue you have the option to gank pretty much like every lane all the time, because like everyone's just like no wards and everyone's like playing aggressive as hell. But like in competitive play they'll have like maybe 2 or 3 wards on the map level 1, so it's like you have to be able to like guess where those are and like walk around them. Like I don't know, I think like in higher level games like it's pretty common to have a wraith ward, so like a trick you learn is like instead of like derping through like the wraith bush and just running to the red, you just like walk around through your tower so that they don't see you, and you can just get around like wards, and then like you have more opportunities to gank. So I don't know, I'd say like wards is like the big thing, and then it's also like the champion matchups, like and I don't know, the amount of CC that the laners have. Like if I have a Jax on my team, like Chronos plays a really good Jax, like I can normally get a kill in his lane, 4-6. Like, so I'll be looking for like stuff there, and then like once like bot lane 6, there's normally a lot of CC down there, so I'll look down there too. I don't know, like mid is normally for me, like Scar plays like pretty passive, so whenever I show up, just by the fact that he's like playing aggressive, like they'll just like know that I'm there. So it's pretty much worthless for me to like ever go mid. Like the only times I go is when people just act like they know this, when they're just like, oh, well, Dominate's never gonna gank mid, and then I just like, all right, okay, I guess I'll like show some pressure. But like generally speaking, like mid's just not the place to make your money if you're jungling for Dignitas. Go top or bot, like. you'll get kills.
That's where the profit is. So pretty much
Yeah.
your strategy is just leave Scara to passively farm on his own and never touch.
Yeah, because Cutie is like absolutely insane. So like they never even know if you gank. Like they just think that Cutie's being normal when he's just like being crazy aggro. So you just kind of just go off Cutie Pie's like aggression. Stuff will go down.
Now that seems to be like I've heard the same of like TSM with Reggie in mid. Like apparently he's super aggro all the time, so you never know whether like is odd one there, is odd one not. So you don't know when exactly a gank is coming, and I think that kind of lends itself to it's very explanatory, I guess, of Reggie's playstyle and stuff like that. But as a jungler, what kind of a playstyle do either of you subscribe to? Because I know like the biggest difference I've seen is a lot of people say, oh, Odd One's like a support type jungler. He comes in, gets the assists, and gets out of the lane, while Saint just like farms for literally years and then never uses that money, and he tries to carry the game. Do you guys subscribe to any labels, I guess, as a jungler? Like NK, do you feel yourself to be a carry jungler? Do you just advance your lanes as much as possible and not worry about your own KDA, or what happens there?
I don't really think in the current meta there's like a carry jungle. In all honesty, like in competitive play, I don't really think you're going to be seeing like to be even with a solo lane in the jungle, you need 4 or 5 kills. In all honesty, and like
or
that
would
would put you in
or
to have like a broken as fuck champion, and like it's almost impossible to get that in competitive play just because of all the warding, and people play smart. So it's like, as far as like carry junglers go, like right now that doesn't exist. So I think in my opinion, everyone's more of like a support type jungle. Like you can carry with like initiation that's good and whatnot. Like that can win you the game, but you're not really like carrying in the traditional sense of the term.
I think I'm just gonna hear a here from Dominate, right? You agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I tried to play like carry oriented junglers at Dallas. That was like my idea going in. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like let's just like see what like carry junglers work. And like the closest I got was like Hecarim and like Rengar. Pretty much both of them I still have to build full tank, so it's not really even carry. It's like you pretty much are forced to be a tank in this like meta, because tank items are generally like it's easier to just pick up an Aegis than to like get like a Triforce. You know, it's so much less gold, and you're normally not gonna have much gold in the jungle, even if you're like getting ganks off. So yeah, I agree.
So do you think that like those kind of old schools, like if a lot of people think St. Vicious is a carry jungler, I keep kind of coming back to him because I feel like he's a prime example. He's a prominent jungler in the scene. Do you think now that this kind of shift towards more support junglers overall, like not being able to carry from the jungle in the current meta, do you think that Saint's playstyle has become kind of obsolete in that respect? Like, do you think that's why people don't view him as strong of a jungler as before?
If you look at it, he doesn't even play carry junglers anymore. It's not like he can even stick with that. Like he's playing like look at last game, he just played Skarner. He's been playing like Maokai. Pretty much the only carry jungler he still plays is like Shyvana. So and like I guess Olaf, but Olaf he plays with double gold for 10 and buys an early oracle. So it's like everyone's just forced into the support style. So I don't even think that it's like he's still playing his carry jungle style. So I don't know.
So do you think, and this kind of transitions into our next topic, there are a slew of jungle changes coming during the Season 3 patch. There's a lot of them. We don't know all of them. They're starting to trickle out just a little bit, but we know things such as apparently the golems are going to be faster. They're getting rid of leashing. The camps are just going to pretty much attack the closest thing to them, a la Baron. They are moving like the Wraith camp, I think, further, or maybe just the big Wraith further away from the AP mid, so they can't just constantly farm that. So what do you think these changes are really going to line up? Do you think potentially those carry junglers are going to be able to be played again and come back into the competitive meta? I'll start with you, Dominate, if you want to shed some light on that.
Yeah, I think it all just depends on the numbers. It depends how much farm you're actually getting in the jungle and like what it eventually ends up being. Because it could be like they release like the new jungle and it's just like completely broken. Like you have like fiddlesticks and things just like out leveling solos, and it's absolutely ridiculous for a little while until they like tone it back. So like I don't know. I just think it depends on how much gold you're actually getting from the jungle and how much experience and like how effectively you can clear that fast in relation to ganking. So yeah.
What about you, Incake? What's your opinion of the? I think I just called you Inkank. I don't know what I just said there, but Inkank. What is your opinion about some of the changes that we've heard?
I think the biggest change that like they're gonna need to make is they're gonna need to make it so that like The trade, like currently, the trade-off between like having fast clearing speed and being able to gank well is just like it's not really there. It's like being able to gank well or like having CC is like the prime thing that you want, right? And like there's no trade-off where it's like I can just farm my jungle till I get to this point where I'm so strong that like they can't kill me and like I'm a huge factor, you know? Like that doesn't exist right now. Like back when they first changed the jungle and you could pick like Udyr or Shyvana or Mundo and like farm your jungle super hard and get level 5 before solo lanes. Like back when it was like that, it was worth it to pick jungles like that, but there was also that trade-off where you could pick like a jungle who is like okay, not as good as Shyvana, Mundo, or Udyr, but like Lee Sin, who was okay at clearing the jungle and also had good ganks. Like you could make that work too.
Just
and then,
middle
like,
of the road.
Yeah, and then like supporty type jungles, they were viable too. They wouldn't be as high of a level, they didn't clear as well, but they had those strong ganks to kind of like be a trade-off for that. Like right now, they removed that trade-off completely, so there's no reason to pick AoE clears, and the only thing you want to pick is characters with CC.
Okay, so in your opinion, what would be your perfect jungle in Season 3? Like do you want that AoE fast clear, get higher than other solo lanes first kind of jungle, or do you like the support jungle, or do you want like a balance of the two?
Like the balance. That's all they really need. Like they just need the balance. Like getting level 5 before solo lanes, like that. I think that was kind of stupid. In all honesty, like that was probably not smart. But like if you can at least stay on par with the solo lanes, if you have like you want the jungle to make it so that your jungle is equivalent to a solo lane, not less powerful than a solo lane. You want them to be equivalent to a solo lane if they're an AoE clearer without as much CC or whatever. But if they're like if they're a heavy ganker type jungler, then you want to make it so that they're not going to get as much money, so they're going to be a little bit less than a solo lane. But so that they're not like super OP, because it's just stupid to have a character that's good at not only ganking but also clearing, and then is going to be as rich as a solo lane, because there's going to be a high chance for them to get kills and stuff too. So it's like one of those things that they're just going to have to kind of touch carefully. They're
going to caress it like a newborn baby. I like it. Dominate, what is your perfect Season 3 jungle?
I don't know, man. Maybe you'll see a return of Yi. Master Yi might be the best if they just make like the jungle like, I don't know. They say they're adding a new item where it's not boots, but it just like makes you clear the jungle faster. So you'll have an alternative to like ganking. You can actually just like sit there and see how much you can rise the jungle. If that's like really good, you can see like Nocturne, Yi, like all the melee AD carry jugglers coming back. So.
Yeah, it was gonna be like that Dota item. It gives you like 60% increased damage against creeps or something. I'm not sure.
Is there a Dota? Is there a Dota 2 item or a Dota 1 item like that?
I just know it was in Dota, but it was like it increased your damage against neutral creeps, so like you could last hit better or like jungle easier.
Okay. So the kind of final topic. Dominate has already kind of touched just a little bit with the prediction of Master Yi jungle coming back into the forefront of the scene. Are there any other junglers that you think are going to just like have an amazing glorified resurgence back into the meta when the Season 3 jungle comes out?
From what I've heard, Fiddlesticks is like a monster in the new jungle. He just is like one of the only people that can just stay at full life clearing and then also like gank effectively. So. We'll see. Maybe until they change everything back or they tone it down a little bit, Fiddlesticks will be OP.
Okay. NK, are there any ones you want to see?
I think Cho'Gath will probably be stupid.
Really?
Yeah. Like he can already clear the jungle with boots and 1 potion. Like right now, he can do that. So like with a decent leash, but like you compare that to all the other jungles, like they need 3 pots. So it's just like, I think Cho'Gath is going to be pretty good because he's got AoE, he's got strong ganks, and he's got good clearing speed.
Well, we will definitely see. I'm excited about the changes. I hope you guys are excited about the changes as well. I was trying to think, is there any other particular topics that either of you would like to kind of touch on a little bit as far as the jungle is concerned, or do you think we're done with this episode? Do you guys just want to get the hell out of here and stop talking to me?
Want to go watch Curse lose?
Oh my goodness. What is even happening in that match right now? It's 2-2, 9.7k gold apiece. They're just going to turn this into a big shoutcasting of the Lone Star Clash too. No. But we'll see what Curse can do. We'll see what Curse can do.
No, I think they're going to win this series. I have confidence.
Well, there you go. As long as we have Dominate's vote of confidence, then I'm a happy camper.
You guys will probably win.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much. You know, to round off the end of this episode, you know, I'd love for you guys to be able to do any shout-outs that you'd like to do, you know, some Twitters, sponsors, anything like that. Dominate, we'll start with you.
Yeah, shout out to Team Dignitas. You can find us on teamdignitas.net. Shout out to our main 3 sponsors, which are Alienware, Intel, and Antec. Yeah, you can find my Twitter at DigDominate, so that's pretty much it for me.
Perfect. What about you, NK?
I guess I just got the Twitter plug, and if you ever have a question for me, just ask me over Twitter or Reddit if you want, and then I'll probably answer.
At NK_Inc. Now, to end it, I just want to ask each of you one last thing, and it's just kind of personal, kind of online related. How did you guys get your names? I want to hear this story. Spin me a yarn of how you became I Will Dominate.
I mean, it's a pretty troll name. That's really what I was going for. I'll be honest, I didn't think it would be like a big deal or anyone would know it. So it was just like, I don't know, I was just playing League of Legends for fun. And I just thought that people would hate to lose to that name, especially because I played Dota. So like pub smashing like the level like 1 through 10 like League of Legends people was just like the most fun thing ever for me. And I just like, I don't know, might be a little bit of a troll.
Did you have any names before that, or would you like to change your name at some point in the future?
No, I don't know. It's like people know me by it now, so might as well just keep it. Like I don't really have a problem with it. It's kind of funny to me because I don't know. It's like a very cocky name. So. It
is. It's pretty funny too. It's interesting always whenever you get kind of recognized and people know you as a name. Like now you're never really going to be able to change that. Like you're always going to be I Will Dominate. So as long as you're happy with that, then I guess that's your good. And what about what's up?
No, I played Dota and my name was Sunny B, but that was like when I was 15. But some people from Riot still call me that because they knew me from when I was that age. So.
What was your name?
Sunny V.
Sunny V.
Yeah.
That's a pretty shitty name. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it is. That's what you think of when you're 15.
I Will Dominate way better. What about you, NK Inc? Where did you get that name from?
So when I played, like I used to play Halo competitively. So when I played that game, I went by the like tag NK. And since you couldn't have like a 2-digit, like a 2-letter like name on Xbox Live, I had to like extend it to NK91. And I always thought I thought it was cool when I first made it when I was like 14 or whatever, you know. But then I was like, you know, numbers in your name is kind of gay. So I had a forum name that I went by on a forum where I was named Incorporated. So I just took both of them and combined them into NK Inc. So I used that name for everything.
Now with all this talk of mistakes of nomenclature when you were young, I'm going to extend this conversation just a hair further so we can end it on a fantastic note. Will you guys divulge your first screen names, like your first email addresses, like AOL or what have you, like when you first got it, or is it too embarrassing?
No, I'll do it.
Okay, well, I'll say mine first. My first AOL.com like screen name was SquallX124, which is like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII is the main character, and then X just because the X's were badass, and then 124 is my birthday. Like that was my first screen name ever. What about you, Dominate?
I actually like a friend like helped me out with it because I didn't know what to like name myself. I'd never made a screen name before, but I like just took it. And it was a Crazy Psycho Mango 9. I was 6 years old. I think I was 6 years old. Yeah.
Crazy Psycho Mango 9. I like that a lot. What about you, NK?
I think like the first thing I ever really used was like Reaper and then 2 at the end, like not the number 2, but like TO.
Reaper 2.
Yeah, that was really retarded.
God, I love young screen names. They're so fun and embarrassing as well. So thank you again, Psycho Mango, whatever the hell you are. and Reaper too. I appreciate you guys for being on so much. Hopefully, in a few weeks, whenever I get back to another jungle round, maybe you guys can come back on. Maybe I'll find some new blood. But thank you for being on this episode. I appreciate both of you guys.
Yeah, awesome. It was fun doing it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Best of luck in your future tournaments. I'll definitely see you at IPL 5 NK. We got an interview. We need to do it because I didn't get one at MLG Raleigh, and I'll be doing interviews for IPL there. So maybe we'll get one on stream, and it'll be absolutely fantastic. I know, right? So excited. And we'll see if you're there. Dominate, probably not because Dignitas blows, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh man.
All right, thanks again, guys. We're gonna go watch Curse lose now. We'll see if that happens.
They just turned a team fight. Oh, that was good.
Oh my gosh, I gotta end this episode so I can go watch this. Thank you, guys. Tune in next week for another episode of Plutz and Friends. I think the only one we have left is AP mids, and then we'll start the cycle over back with top lane. So tune in next week, Plutz and Friends, AP mids. We'll see who we get. And till then, take care. Subscribe to the YouTube, youtube.com/CursePluto, twitter.com/CursePluto, and facebook.com/CursePluto. It's a fantastic branding for all those things. So thanks a lot. Goodbye.